Hi, Dr. Ferguson coming to you again from the Passioncam. And on the Passioncam, what my goal is just kind of share my heart. That's why I call it the Passioncam. In the last couple episodes, we've been talking about stress and how we can deal with it, how we can identify it. And I got to thinking about, well, one of the things that's very stressful for many people is their interactions with their family members, whether it be their spouse, whether it be their children, whoever it might be. And what can you do to help that interaction be improved so that you're not stressed by it? Well, that means you got to sit back, you got to think about what am I doing or not doing that's causing me and my spouse to argue, causing me and my children to argue. What am I doing or not doing that's causing discord, that's causing us to clash? And when you begin to think about things like that, many times if you can take on the attitude, would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? And that may help you work through that process. If you take on the attitude, would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? And you'll find that a lot of the arguments that you're having with your spouse that maybe you just don't have anymore because you've chosen to be happy over choosing to be right. And obviously, there's two sides to every coin. And when I'm talking to couples, what I always say to them is it takes 100% to make this equation complete. Now, somebody may bring 99% and the other person may bring 1%. Somebody may bring 60, somebody may bring 40, somebody may bring 5, 95, 20, 80, 70, 30. I don't know what's being brought to the equation. But when you're dealing with your spouse, if you make up your mind that it takes 100% for us to be successful, it doesn't matter who did how much of wrong or right, it takes 100% of us coming together for us to be successful. And I think you'll be less likely to want to hold on to your part. Say you're the 90% part and you're upset because the other person won't do their 10%. Well, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? So a lot of times we're kind of stuck and bent on something that we want done a certain way. But if we step back for a minute and think about it, well, this is causing conflict between me and my wife, and I don't like conflict, and I don't even want to go home after work because I know we're going to argue. Well, what are you arguing about? What's the basis to your argument? And what can you do to help that argument? Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? So if you keep letting that ring in your ears, would you rather be happy? Would you rather be right? Every time you get ready to get into an argument or discord about something with your spouse, let that ring in your ears. Would I rather be happy or would I rather be right? And I think most times you're going to come up with you'd rather be happy. And sometimes, you know, we get stubborn and we want our way to be seen and we want our way to be heard, but that usually doesn't help anything. It usually makes us feel worse, makes them feel worse, and we both feel worse. So what did we accomplish? Neither one of us are talking to each other. We're just kind of moping around the house, not communicating. That's not good for anybody. Surely not to help you feel better after a long day or after a stressful day at work. Then you go home and you got more stress because you two aren't getting along. Would you rather be happy? Would you rather be right? Think about that, and when you're putting these equations together, just understand it takes 100% for you guys to have a wonderful marriage. And if one person is doing 99.9% and the other person is doing the 1%, well, you're still not 100 until that 100 comes together. So regardless of who's most at fault, regardless of who's messing up most, you're not 100 until you come together and make 100. So I encourage you to take that little simple philosophy on. Would you rather be happy? Would you rather be right? Sit down, think about the scenarios. How could you do it differently? How could I have said that differently? Now that I have said it, I've already messed up. What can I do to try to correct that problem? You know, you mess up enough times and your spouse, they don't want to hear what you got to say when you're trying to correct it. So maybe that's a scenario where you just don't say nothing, but you correct it with your actions as opposed to with your words. You know, it's always wonderful to see spouses having a wonderful relationship. And it always saddens me when I have patients in my office and they tell me they're looking at getting a divorce or they're just not, they're separating, etc. That always saddens me. So I encourage you that are married to find a way to make it happen. And if you, well, lastly, today what I'm going to say, if divorce is not an option, it can't happen. So for all of you out there that are having some challenges in your marriage, if divorce is not an option, it can't happen. Now, by no means am I telling you to stay in an abusive situation, whether it be verbal or physical or financial. I'm by no means telling you to stay in an abusive situation. But if you take on the philosophy that divorce is not an option, then it can't happen. You'll be more creative in coming up with things that you can do to make your marriage work. So on that note, Dr. Ferguson coming to you from the Passion Cam. Be blessed.